To show this guy some appreciation. These guys, particularly this gentleman, had a vision of what we have in our hands. You know what we have in the UK right now? We generally have an epidemic of obesity. We're the third largest country in the world. Okay, and this gentleman that you're going to hear from now isn't here to sell shakes. That's what we do. He's here because he has a genuine heart for the UK people. You know, Glasgow, they were a bit timid last night. I heard Manchester was a little bit, you know, weak. But I told him Southampton was the loudest crowd. He ain't that good. But if you're new here tonight, let me just close, before I bring this gentleman on, I know how you feel. You know, I came in a room like this and I thought they'd hired everyone to impress me. You know, we had some technical challenge tonight. How many, regardless of what you saw, you can look around and see the numbers that have turned out tonight. Okay? Something's going on. Whether you get it or not tonight, don't walk away from it. You just hang around this until you get it. Because this is happening. But, you know, no further ado, this gentleman's my mentor. He's an inspiration. He's wisdom beyond his years. He's so youthful. But he's flying in here and everywhere. You know why? They truly have a passion to help everybody who wants to help themselves. So please show your appreciation for co-founder, global ambassador, Mr. Nick Sarnicola.
That was impressive. It sounded like a couple thousand people in a stadium, so thank you guys. So it seems like next time we get together, we're going to have to knock out some of these walls, is what it looks like. So, you know, I appreciate you guys who are still standing back there and hanging in with us. It's always a good problem when you have way too many people show up and you have chairs. It's always a bad problem when you have way too many chairs set up and not enough people. That's an issue. First of all, I'll start with the most obvious question in the room, which is, how many guys found it a little bit weird watching the DVD of a guy with a guy on the DVD stood behind you watching himself on DVD? I know some of you guys are like, why doesn't that guy just walk up there right now? And there is a reason why we do it. Simply is because we want everyone to know how simple this business is. So even when Ashley and I are in town, we still just press play on the DVD, and then it allows us to talk about a couple other things that you couldn't see on the DVD. And I'll give you guys my quick backstory. I'm originally from Grand Rapids, Michigan. I have a very blue-collar, middle-class upbringing. All four of my grandparents, you know, they worked for that factory and just kind of had a trickle-down effect. You know, my dad worked there, my uncles, my brothers, my cousins, and I didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up. I just knew I didn't want to be working at that same factory that everyone else did. So I had I remember daydreaming when I was a kid that I wanted to be quote-unquote rich one day. You know, when you're a kid, you're like, oh, I'll be rich one day. Did any of you guys, when you're a kid, ever want to be rich one day? The rest of you guys, when you're a kid, you want to be poor one day? No, we all want to be rich one day. There's just not a training course for that, right? There's not an education platform where you can go to Wealth 101 or you can learn about it. So, you know, you just watch TV as a kid. You're like, all right, well, I can be a rock star, a musician, I can be an actor, I can be a rapper, I can do something illegal, or I can be a professional athlete. Those are pretty much your options if you're not raised, you know, in a wealthy family. And I can't act, I can't sing or play an instrument, I can't rhyme, I'm not a good liar, so illegal's out, but I was really good at sports. So I went on and played college baseball, and that was going to be kind of my pursuit. And while I was playing college baseball, I was introduced to the #1 way that financial success is created in the world. And it's called entrepreneurship. Literally, I had no idea that owning your own business was even possible. It was never taught, the word was never taught in any class, it was not taught in any book, the word never left a teacher's mouth. And it makes sense because none of the teachers were entrepreneurs. So how could they teach about owning a business and being successful at it when they had never done so? So when I found out you could be an entrepreneur, I started a home-based business in this style of marketing at age 18, and I had no success at it. After a while, though, 4 years later, I began to have success at it. And by the time I was 23, I had done extremely well at it. And my mindset was this: if I could just, by the time I was 23 years old, when most of my peer group was going to be graduating college, making an average of $36,000 US a year, I'm making $36,000 a year, they're going to be $50,000 in debt, and 9 out of 10 of them were going to take a job completely unrelated to their major, which is, the U.S. statistics. I said, well, what if I just tried to build a business, while going to school part-time and trying to do this aside, and if I could get to $36,000 a year, man, that would be awesome. I could just be my own boss, and I wouldn't have to go take a job unrelated to my major like everybody else. Well, it worked out a little bit better than that. By the time I was 23, I was making about $30,000 a month, which is a lot better than a year. And I had moved from Grand Rapids, Michigan to Orange County, California. And, as your resources increase, so do some of your allergies. And I became significantly allergic to snow. Does anybody every winter feel that allergy creeping on? Like each year is a little bit more and a little bit more. So I became allergic to snow. I moved to California. I lived 2 houses from the beach. And every morning I wake up, I walk down to the water, I touch my toes in the water, and I'd say, today I beat the system. Monday. I come back down the next day, today I beat the system. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And I would only do it Monday through Friday, 8:30 in the morning. You could look to the left and look to the right, you could see for miles, and there was nobody there. Where was everybody at Monday through Friday, 8:30 in the morning? They were where? Work. There was just me and a couple homeless guys, and we were high-fiving the whole time. This is fantastic. And at that point in my life, everyone just automatically assumed I was one of two things, because they're like, all right, he's at the beach every day, he doesn't seem to work, he has money, he drives a nice car, and he's young. He's either a rich kid, because there's a lot of rich kids in Orange County, California, and then if he's not a rich kid, then he has to be a supermodel. Nailed it. So, no? There's one guy back there,